What is up, guys? In today's video we have another Inside the Mind style video where I'm going to walk you through my thoughts and decisions as I play in Fortnite Zero Build. As always, if you guys do find this video helpful or informative, remember to give a like, subscribe if you'd like to see more, and comment down below where your favorite place to land has been so far in Season 3. This is the first one of these videos I've made so far this season. We're going to be going Shady, Stilts because of the new locations. This one is my favorite by far, and it is, you know, pretty early in this buff pass, so that should be good for us. Go ahead and land here. I'm not too fond of the new jungle biome, but Shady Stilts is like somewhat isolated from it. Like, it's on the edge of the jungle, so you can like kind of land here, fight here, and then be on your way. You don't really have to worry about like traversing through the jungle, whereas like if you land somewhere like Rumble Ruins, you know, you're like in the thick of the jungle at that point. My drop may be great, actually. And it's mostly just like buildings here. Kind of reminds me of Jones's somewhat. My drop is not good. I like to land on this top part there, and then just kind of play from that edge of the POI. Got a blue flapjack off the rip. That is nice. Also gave me a green one because, you know, why not? Minis, that's huge. Get some sort of shield. There's definitely were people that landed here. It's a shotgun. That's good for me. Yeah, I hear him near me. Go in here and drink this big pot. There's walking up on me. Another one coming. What the heck? Nice. I'm surprised they were hitting me there. I feel like I played those right shoulder peaks pretty well, but like, it just didn't matter. We got a flare gun here. I'm gonna go ahead and scan the rest of this area. I don't think there's anybody else here though. That's not the case, but the flare gun is so good for that. Even if you don't want to carry it, just like being able to use it a few times and then get the mark on people is very nice. Pretty OP item, especially off spawn. But just at any point in the game, like if you eliminate someone that drops it, you throw out a few shots of it and it can make your life much easier. And in endgame, we all know how much of like a menace it can be because the Tracker's Armory Augment was in the game last season as well. Unfortunately, no MK. I really don't care for the DMR much at all. Got the job done there, but that player was not human, so it's fine. What I was gonna say, like with the second player we killed this game, I just feel like I was playing right shoulder peak fine there, but he just like kept tagging me with the DMR. His aim was so good. People fighting over here. Somebody's ziplining near me. These might be AI. They've been fighting for way too long. And I feel like usually when you have players fighting for just an absurd amount of time but no one's getting the kill, AI. There was a player like somewhere up on that hill though. Like I kind of could have done that like two different ways. I could have just like completely ignored these people because I thought they were AI and focused that other guy because we don't know much about him. But I also kind of just like I like getting rid of things like that, you know what I mean? Like, we'll kill the AI quickly, get them out, and then we won't have to worry about them just being weird or like causing some sort of chaos later on. Don't know what happened to the guy that was up top. And one thing I really like about this place is there's a guaranteed rift over here. My augments. There's nothing I really care for at this point in the game, I'm gonna be honest. Like the only augment I really care about having like a decent amount is like shotgun striker, which I very rarely see. And soaring sprints is also very nice to have in Zero Build. But this thing, one of these statues will open the door, the other one is a guaranteed rift. And it's just like kind of a 50-50. To my understanding, there's no way to know for sure which one you're opening and what result it'll give you. But it's nice because not only do you get that legendary chest, which is 2 utility spawn, so you have a solid chance of getting either shockwaves or bunkers out of it, which is like super important in Zero Build. But also, like, the guaranteed rift is nice because now I can just go to brutal, or I can go to like this building here and then pad to like this vault if that spawns. Like, usually I'm able to clear that area and then get to where I need to get before the vault even spawns, which is pretty nice. And just also, like I was saying before, it's like in the jungle, but it doesn't really matter that it's in the jungle, and that's one of the reasons why, because you can just take that rift and leave. And there are like other statues like that around the map, and I feel like learning the locations and the spawns of those can make your life so much easier on this map. Because I'm not the biggest fan of the jungle biome at all. From what I've seen, a lot of players aren't either. Like, I get a lot of comments of people saying they like don't like dealing with the jungle, and just being able to hit a rift and get out of there. Not only do you get around the map faster, but you don't have to worry about the jungle biome as much. A vault spawned here. This is like one of my least favorite vault locations, I think. It's very inconvenient to fight here without it just divulging into chaos. And when you're fighting like the boss and his henchmen, and then like maybe there's already a person there, you fight them, and then like constantly people are just pulling up. Not ideal. But obviously, I want to eliminate the boss, get the vault. You could just choose to forego the vault. I think the combat caches are really good as well. Like, I just want the slurp juice in some way, shape, or form. I think the legendary slurp juice is the best healing item in the game still. And the combat cache is also really nice because you get guaranteed high rarity pump from it. Well, I mean, the rarity of the pump will depend on like what rarity the cache is. Just let that player go. It's not a human. And if you're able to be near one of those like rift location things or a launch pad when your combat cache spawns, that's great. I feel like I'm typically able to get it while it's high rarity. Again, just right shoulder peeks. Super overpowered. I feel like just constantly playing right shoulder peeks is like the biggest tip for Zero Build, honestly. Like, the more you do that, the easier fights are gonna be. Maybe get that MK here in a moment, depending on what I get out of this vault. Because I only have 1 key. I don't care that much about MK rarity, so if I only have 1 key, I would rather save it to hopefully get a pump. But if we get a pump from here, then it's not that big of a deal, you know? But like pump shotgun rarity is so much more impactful to me than MK rarity. I feel like as long as you have any MK, you like have what you need, you know? Like they all do the same thing. Even the mythic one is just like 2 extra damage. It's not that big of a deal. Nice, you got soaring sprint. This is like the most important augment for Zero Build right now. Even with shockwaves in the game, like before we had mobility in the game, I feel like soaring sprints was like vital because it was the only mobility option we really had. But even now it's nice to have because you can combine it with your shockwaves to go even further, and it's just like you can get by on times using the soaring sprints instead of a shockwave, you know? Like you want to save your shockwaves as much as you can since they don't regen. And that is the soaring sprint shockwave. Super good. We only got 1 bullet on him. I would like to push this and get rid of this player. They seem decent. But 1 bullet isn't going to matter much. That just goes right into the overshield. Shockwaved away. He might push me. Player's aim is decent. Actually, really good. They fried me there. I don't have the most AR ammo, which is unfortunate. He's just playing a head glitch, though. Yikes. He's gonna get my cash loot. Maybe not. That's like one of the main downsides of throwing spent shockwave. Is I feel like I always go too far. That's what you do if you want a short shockwave though. Just don't jump or anything. Just like be slightly walking forward and you'll get there. We used a lot of shockwaves there, but that player was decent. Their aim was actually very good. So I just like tried my best to not be like overextended that entire fight. Just like from the moment the fight started, they seemed like, you know, a threat. They were playing like much more confidently than what you see out of the average player in Zero Build. And I only hit him once there. That like probably wasn't the best push, but I don't know. It seemed like he was getting shot in the back there. Hopefully he was weak from that, and the engage ended up working out. That was like better. That was better terms for a fight, I feel like, than I was gonna get otherwise, you know. Because like let's just say I back off there and I don't push that, then I don't get my cash loot, I don't get my slurps, I'm low on shockwaves. So it's just like the game state is like not that great at that point. So I would rather just take that risk, fight that player for my like gold loot, and then also just get that good player out of the game. And that's just like one of the things I feel like it's kind of hard to explain, but being familiar with like, you know, what a good player looks like, what an AI looks like, what an average player looks like you kind of it makes it easier to play some of those fights out, because if you can just tell that someone looks decent based on how they're playing, and I'm sure if you guys play the game a lot, you kind of know what I'm saying, where like you can just kind of tell by like how certain people are moving and the plays they're making that they're a solid player. And like obviously you want to play the fights differently, and just typically getting rid of those good players is like pretty important makes it easier to win the games, you know. And that's one thing that can be rough sometimes, if someone doesn't seem very good and you kind of play too confident versus them and then they turn out to be good, you can put yourself in some bad situations. This is another one of those rift doors I was talking about before. Hopefully it hasn't been opened, because I would like to get more shockwaves. We used a lot of shockwaves in that fight. So that was the wrong answer. That was the rift. But we can just land back, and that rift is infinite. You can use it as many times as you want. And it just makes it so nice for rotating around the map if you learn where these are. Fortnite.gg does have like the spawns for everything on the map. If you go to that website, you can kind of like check what boxes, things you want to see. Nice. There's a player on a zip line near me. I think they went on that. We got more shockwaves, which is super fortunate. My loot is like perfect at this point. We got gold pump, gold MK. I mean, I guess I could get the mythic MK as an upgrade. And we have the mythic slapjack rifle, but really solid loot. That is that player I heard zip. I don't know if we can, like, I don't want to really land on them. I think 50-50 people is for the most part just terrible this season, because if I land on that guy and he's a drum shotty, it's not good for me. We maybe go on this and fight him, but it's going to be hard for me to get this kill. He's probably not just gonna stand there and let me kill him, you know? Maybe you should have pushed him with that other damage I had, to be honest. I think I hit him like 60 something. We could have like touring spent shockwave onto that. On the back now. Let's get out of here. If I could land on this rail, that'd be nice. Okay, we just straight make it. What? Wow, dude, these players have such good aim. I got stuck on like the corner of this log cabin, and then that results in 60 more damage. I was at like 82 shield, which I was gonna be fine just like existing at, and then hopefully finding like a slurp mushroom or something. Shield mushroom, you know, those plants. But we get stuck on the corner of a house and get fried, and that is just the nature of this game sometimes. When nobody misses shots, the smallest things will get you killed. And I feel like, I don't know why, but for like whatever reason this season, I just get stuck on things constantly. It's been the most petty Fortnite season ever. But that player also seemed decent. Like, he was playing cover well, didn't miss shots really. You know, just like the entire time I was fighting him, like, I only really had his head to be able to see. Like, he was playing that mountain well. This thermal fish is really nice. I've seen people hate on this. They say it makes it harder to see, but I don't know. I feel like it makes it very easy to see any opponents. If anybody's in mud, they will not show on thermals, but I don't think there's any mud over here anyways. So it's not like that's much of a concern. We're gonna chill out here. This is edge of zone. There should be some people coming through this way that we can maybe hold. Only 9 opponents remaining. And there is bunkers here as well, which is another reason that kind of makes me want to stay here. Because if we could chill here, and then zone pulls this way, and we end up being in zone next, we can, like, throw our bunkers. But if I just leave, then, like, we can't recycle those bunkers, and I don't want to carry them. Like, I feel like between bunkers and shockwaves, you probably want to be carrying one of them this season. For solos, I prefer shockwaves. For team game modes, I could definitely see bunkers being more viable, just because it's harder to make shockwaves work in team game modes. Like, you know, everybody needs to have them for them to be helpful. Or, like, hopefully a decent amount of people have them. Like, if you just shockwave on somebody and your team has no potential to help you, that's not ideal. But the bunkers, like, one person can carry them, and then everybody can play that bunker, and it's nice. But they're still really good. Like, I want to have either shockwaves or bunkers. If I'm unable to find shockwaves, then, like, I'm happy to carry bunkers. Zone pulled far. Doesn't seem like there's anybody coming through on this side of zone. Go ahead and drink this. Dang, zone pulled far, actually. All the way to Steamy Springs. And even with shockwaves being in the game, you definitely want to try to make use of these other mobility items as much as you can, like the animals and the cars. Like, people didn't really use these that much in the previous seasons of Chapter 4 because we had such good mobility in terms of, like, the katana and the hammer being rechargeable, even, like, the grapple gloves and the ODM. But now, like, with shockwaves, they're nice to have for sure, but you have to be more mindful of how you use them because they're a limited resource. I saw that guy in visuals as I pulled up to that John Wick loot, and I just, like, immediately got to cover. That was something I was talking about in my recent spectating video. Just immediately getting to cover is so helpful. That John Wick had the mythic drum. That was a huge kill to get. That John Wick, we invested slightly more than nothing. We invested some medium ammo into killing him. I took no damage. I was going here anyways. And we got shockwaves and slurps back from it. We might have to give up this spot, though. Is there a flare gun here? I don't see one. Maybe roll for it. I gotta take my truck. Yeah. Wonder if that's one I fried. Dang, a flare gun being in here would have been really nice. If that guy just straight psychoed me, though, I would have just shockwaved away. I was talking before about when I saw that player in the zipline, I didn't want to just, like, 50-50 them for no reason. Like, I feel like those fights are just so bad this season. That is not what I wanted to do. I wanted to stack them so I could have high ground. But I feel like just, like, 50-50 shotgun fights are so bad this season because of the existence of the drum shotty. So if that player just, like, full psychoed me that was initially driving up in the first car, I would have just shockwaved away. It's better not to have those fights, I feel like, this season with the drum shotty being in the game. And typically if somebody's playing like that, They're not the greatest. I think I'm just gonna leave here. I think I'm just gonna go over there. I wanted to stack these bunkers and then have like some high ground here, but I messed it up. I do have a short on my channel about like stacking bunkers. It can be very helpful if you do it right, but I am terrible and messed it up. I also could have thrown the first one in such a way where it was higher, and that would have been ideal, but I messed up everything about throwing those bunkers, I'm not gonna lie. That sinks. This is not good. I've played this so bad. I didn't think he could see me right there. Alright, so I should have just waited on my bunkers and then used a shockwave to get here. It would have been safer, but I went too early and then I was kind of in no man's land. I didn't think anybody was over here and I was paying more attention to what I was talking about. But if I just chilled there and then the moment this came in, I just shockwave to it, we would have used a shockwave, but we would have gotten here without taking as much damage. And I definitely should have died there. The fact that I'm still alive in this game is just total, like, luck. We used both our slurps. I ended up using shockwaves anyways. It was just terrible. I feel like I did everything possible wrong there, to be honest. I think I'm gonna go back. This might be a mistake, but I want heals. I don't know where the shockwaves were. There was more over there. I thought they were just right next to the thing, but that player's pushing the house. I only have 3 left, but it's fine. I would have liked to get those shockwaves, but I think just getting out of there with my life is better because I should have enough to win this game anyways. Two opponents remain. Soaring sprint shockwave so good for those rotations. He had no idea. We'll do a low shockwave here. Nice, GG's. I wanted to do a low shockwave from that roof, but it was just kind of high because I was already on the roof. But like that second shockwave there I did to push him is what I wanted at the first shockwave. Okay, that was decent, but that was like, I feel like when I almost died to that Halsey skin, I think is the name of her, like that was just needlessly more difficult. If I stacked the bunkers properly, we wouldn't have been in that situation. If I just rotated properly, we wouldn't have been in that situation. I also just like sat out in the open to him because I thought when I was on like the lip of the mountain, he couldn't see me where I was. So I was just like, pretty much everything was wrong there, which is very lucky I didn't get third partied. I should not have won that game probably. But that is going to be it for this video. I hope you guys found it helpful, informative, interesting. If you did, remember to give it a like, subscribe if you like to see more. And I feel like that video just goes to show, like, you got to be on everything at all times. Just the smallest little mistake, like I was just paying attention more to what I was talking about and rotated kind of lazily. The smallest little mistake can get you killed like that in just like a needless way. But hope you guys found this helpful. I'll see you guys in the next one. Thanks for watching.